Good evening. Myself Gayatri, Assistant Professor in the Department of Fashion Technology and from VFIT VIT Chennai. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming and introducing eminent personality of today's webinar, Ms. Arpita Rai. I am also delighted to welcome you all participants for the webinar Learn from Home Freelance Fashion Career. To have the introduction about Ms. Arpita Rai, she has completed her undergraduate in fashion design in the year 2005 from NIFT, Hyderabad. She is having about 15 years of experience in the field of fashion. She has worked with various leading export companies, international fashion startup brands, designer boutiques, retail brands, and so on. She is also doing fashion consultancy works. On behalf of WeFit, VIT Chennai, I welcome you, ma'am. Now I would like to hand over the session to Ms. Arpita. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri, for introducing me. I'm so happy to be a part of this. As Gayatri mentioned, I've been working as a freelancer for last 15 years. So, how did I start my freelancing journey? Actually, when I got married, I had to move to Hyderabad from Chennai, and there were very less jobs in Hyderabad. So, I need to find a way to earn money. So, I just walked into one designer boutique and with my collection in my hand and ask them to give me a chance to create a collection. As I have a good portfolio, they have given me that chance, and I started off. I started off my freelancing career from there. Slowly, I started part-time job, and then one of my very good friends introduced me to online freelancing, which I can do sitting at home. I don't have to meet anybody, I don't have to look at anybody, no need to talk to anyone. So that's how I started my freelancing journey, and I didn't look back from then. But today, the whole thing which I'm going to explain you guys is about design freelancing. I've pulled out some topic details which I'll be explaining you today. That will be what is design freelancing, then different ways to work from home, and then I'll explain a practical application of all these skills which we have, and how to approach a client or a project, tools you need, and finally I'll explain a little bit about me and my contact details where you can get in touch with me. Before we begin, how do you approach problems? So, what do I mean by problems? These can be your personal things or your business or your freelancing work with the client. Let me explain. We need to identify the issue. For example, if we are talking about a project from a client, so we need to know what is his need. That is the issue. We need to identify that first. Then comes understanding everyone's interest who are involved. What do I mean by that? There are times when I have faced, there are two, three partners in a business. They all need to approve certain things. So we need to take in count of all their interests, and then list down the solutions. Once you know all those details, what the client is looking for, you just start listing down the solutions. Then finally, write down the final solution and start working on them. That is how you approach any problem in your life or with the client with any projects as well. Now coming to design freelancing, which I do right now. So freelancing in simple words is that means that we work with different clients for different projects. It is not a job for a salary. It is our own freelancing, our own projects which we get from different clients, and we keep repeating that to earn money. That's what it is in simple words. The basic process is you need to come up with new ideas on the basis of client's requirement. Then you create design, get approvals, and repeat. Repeat the same process with another client. That's how the whole design freelancing goes. Here I want to mention one thing. Everything will be overwhelming in the beginning. Whatever you start, it's all new to you. You might feel, what is it? I cannot handle this. It will be very overwhelming. You might need to learn new things. You might face different things, but take that first step. Fail, learn, and move forward. That's what is keeping me alive in this freelancing business for so many years. So I strongly believe in one thing: quitters are always losers. If you quit, you lost it. So just don't quit, just start and keep going forward. Okay, all theory apart, now let's put it in the practice. How to work from home? That's the main question which you need answer today, right? So let's get into that. If you look at the screen, I have two sections. One says 80%, the second one says 20%. Let me explain. 80% of the time you need to use your own skills to get the projects. That means you need to list down what all skills you have. In those skills, just pick one or two skills which will make a lot of money for you. Then stick to those. 20% of the time, the person who has these 80% skills also, 20% of the time he needs to learn new skills to improve according to the market needs and go further. Now, there is one more situation. You might not know what skills you have to earn money. Then you need to learn those 20% of skills, current skills which are in demand, use them 80% of the time, earn money, then keep on learning more skills in the 20%. And this cycle, keep on, you need to just keep using this cycle, keep learning new skills, use the existing skills for earning money. That's how you should be going. I have pulled out some statistics here. On the right side, you can see there are 10 companies, 10 countries which use freelancing. The number one country is USA, then UK, Brazil, Pakistan, Ukraine, Philippines, then comes India. Now in India, 29% of the income is from freelancing. So today, a freelancer can live and work anywhere thanks to the Wi-Fi, video and messaging services. Particular countries expert at some services. For example, US is the first number one country in freelancing, right? So they use writing and translation freelancers more. While in India, you can find quality software development and technology expertise at a budget friendly price. So now you can see 29% people are earning money from freelancing. You can get into it too. Once you've decided that you want to get into freelancing, you need to approach it with a professional way. When you are getting into it, it's not just one project or it's not just anything random. It is a business model. So let me take you through what all things you need first to start freelancing in a professional way. So first thing, you need branding. Create branding around your services as it is the business you are entering. What is branding? As a brand, you need to be identified with certain things so that everybody remembers you. If you are looking at my presentation right here on the screen, you can see some colors. Those are black, white, red and yellow. So these are my brand colors, and I always have my logo present there and my name there. My full name is Arpita Raipalli, but I use Arpita Rai as my brand name. Wherever you search for Arpita Rai, you will find me. That's how the branding works. Then comes the second step is portfolio. You need to have a portfolio to give good first impression to the client or a business owner. What is portfolio? How do we make portfolio? Portfolio means you need to put together your own past work. You need to have at least 5 to 6 projects and put them all together in one place, and that becomes your portfolio. You can have it as a hard copy, or you can have it online. There are some of my videos on YouTube where I've explained how to create a portfolio. I will be leaving some links towards the end of the presentation. You can watch them. I'm also working on a video where I'll be explaining how to create an online portfolio. So portfolio is a must when you want to go forward professionally. The next step is projects. Once your branding is there, people are identifying you with your own presence online or offline. Then portfolio is also ready. Now you need to get projects. If you apply for 10 projects, you have a chance of getting one. One of my very good friends explained me 10 before 10. He follows that rule till today. I generally miss out on that, but we should not miss out on that. So 10 before 10, what does that mean? 10 applications to any project before 10 p.m. of the day. Before you complete your entire day, you need to apply for at least 10 projects. Why 10? See, when you apply for 10 projects, there is a chance of getting one, right? So if you apply 10 projects every day, that means in a month you have already applied 300 projects. So there are chances of getting at least 30 projects. Maybe that is being too positive, but at least you'll have 3 to 4 good projects in your hand. So that's why you need to apply 10 projects every day. Now all these 3 steps are set. It's time to expand. I've already told you need to consider this as a business approach, not like any random projects. So when you're thinking this as a business model, all these 3 steps are very crucial. Once you are able to do all these things by yourself, there will be more projects coming your way. You cannot handle everything by yourself. So you need to hire somebody. 1 or 2 people can join your team so that you are expanding your business. That's how you need to approach your whole freelancing model. You may think freelancing is only for fashion designers or only for graphic designers. Yeah, that is true. You have a lot of eyes on fashion freelancers and designers, but freelancing is not solely for designers. It's a way of earning for anyone with skills who are ready to adopt. You need to be very adaptive, otherwise, you cannot get into this. As I mentioned earlier, this will be overwhelming, but you need to get used to it. Let me just brief you on what kind of freelancing projects a person can do who doesn't have design skills. Virtual assistants can be done by anyone. Let me tell you one example of myself. In the beginning of these freelancing days, I wanted to pick out as many projects as possible because I need to earn money, right? So I picked out one project where I have to explain, I have to remind a client his tasks for the day. Imagine that. This particular client had some issue with his memory. He had some health issues. So he hired me. He used to mail me before sleeping what all tasks to be done for the day. And next day morning, I used to keep all alarms on my mobile. I call him. I tell him this is the task for now. That's it. That's the call. I just hang up. Again, I keep doing that the whole day. And he used to pay me for my calls. He used to pay me for the project on hold. So imagine anybody can do that, right? And then the next example here is social media posting. We all are on social media, right? Everybody has Facebook or Instagram, anywhere. You're just on social media, just checking out your family or you're sharing your pictures. Why don't you use those skills to earn money? There are brands who need somebody to do those things for them. For example, I'm a person who is always busy. I have so many projects in hand. I have to create so many videos. I need to do so many things. I don't have time for social media posting. I might hire somebody paying money. So that's it. You just need to understand what the client needs. Based on that, you just need to post on their social media pages. That's how it is. Then comes blogging. Content writing. Blogging means every website, every brand maintains a blog page where they explain some details about their brand, what their brand is handling. For example, if you take my case only, I am a fashion freelancer, right? I talk about all fashion designing related things on my blog. I write things down for people to read for free. So that is blogging. If you have writing skills, you are ready to do blogging. You just need to find correct people where they can pay you. And content writing is also similar, where you will be writing content for anything on the website. Like you can write like descriptions for products on Amazon or on anywhere else, on anybody's Shopify link. Those are all content writing and blogging. If you are skilled at writing, just go ahead and do that. Voice over artist. This is not only for movies or some TV programs. This can be done for anybody right nowadays. For example, there is an advertisement where only the pictures are seen, but somebody need to talk about something. If you are good with some language, if you can speak very nicely with emotions and all, you are good to go for voice over artist. Then again, translator. If you are good with some language, for me, I don't know Tamil. I know Tamil, but this is an example. If I don't know, say Malayalam, I don't understand Malayalam. I want to reach out to Malayalam audience as well. How do I do it? I ask somebody to translate my things in Malayalam. So you are good to go. You have the job now. Women here, whoever are participating, if you have good jobs, but you had to leave your jobs for your personal reasons, those things happen. Yeah, I also had those things. If you are a HR manager, why don't you use that as a freelancing skill? If you are an accountant, why don't you use that? I used a freelancing accountant in the past to file my taxes. So you can also do that. These are some of the things which I am explaining you guys to do as your freelancing projects. You can find more and more. There are many more skills which you can learn and start doing. You just need to be adaptive. Now that you know what you want to do, what skills you have, everything is done. Now, how to approach a client or a project? Start with questions. When you are mailing a client, you need to ask who are the people who are taking it as end project. Like, for example, if you are designing a dress, who is going to wear that dress? Working woman or a mother, or is it for a kid? You need to know all those things. Client profile is very important so that you can start working on that. Then comes what is the design expectations? You need to ask the client what are they expecting from you. Without knowing that, never enter a project. They might have something in their mind and you might be thinking something else. When you're working online, communication is the key. You need to ask exact details what they need, what ideas they have, what are they expecting from you. Do they need only the sketching part? Do they need the pattern making? Do they need you to stitch the garment? Do they need you to go in the manufacturing unit and handle all the things? All those things you need to know before starting a project. Then comes what resources do you have? That's the important question. For example, there is a t-shirt graphic which I designed. These are all examples. So client is thinking about that t-shirt graphic for so many months. He is involved in it. So he must be doing his research. He must be drawing it out. He must be talking to somebody else. He must be seeing so many pictures. So all those inputs you need to take, because you are busy with your own project. You are doing some design, some other design. You are working with so many things. So you need to ask the client to give inputs in picture form or in any form. Whatever he has, he needs to tell you before starting the project. The client has given you all the inputs, everything is good. When you are starting out, the work should be given very quickly. We all love it when we get anything before promised delivery time, right? So do the same thing for the client and charge very less in the beginning. I won't say very less, but you need to charge less. So it is like the client is getting best work in less price. Client will surely stick along. There are so many clients of mine who keep coming back to me whenever they need some project. Whenever they have some design idea in their mind, they just mail me along. So that's how you need to maintain some relationships. Once you reach a good position, then you may increase your prices slowly, not drastically. Initially saying 100 rupees, suddenly you say 1000 rupees, that doesn't work. Slowly you need to increase your price according to your experience, online freelancing experience. And you need to give simplest idea, because these clients, whoever you're working with, they are new to this part of your kind of work, like the designing part. They are new to that, they don't know that, that's why they are hiring you. So you have to give a simple solution for them to understand it easily. That way they will be very happy with your way of communication. So there are only 4 steps here. Whenever you have one idea that need to be drawn in a rough sketch, then you need to do a prototype. That means online, completely neatly done drawing. Then physical prototype, which is initial sample. And if you need any changes, if you need something to add to it or remove from it, all that will be done in the physical prototype stage. After that, you need to locate a manufacturer and start manufacturing that product. Now that you know what all need to be done, what kind of skills do you need? What kind of softwares you need to learn for the long run? If you look at the softwares, Adobe is in the lead. Adobe has softwares like, you must have heard these names: Photoshop, Illustrator. So those are the kind of things which you need when you want to draw and create that virtual prototype, the final drawing. I use Photoshop and Illustrator for all my work all these years. There are other software like Corel Draw. You can use that as well. So you need to find what works for you. Start learning that. If you don't know how to use Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator, start learning. That is where you need to learn those skills which I mentioned in the earlier slide. I would suggest Adobe for now, and then you need to learn. You don't need to learn WordPress, but if you know, that is a best way, because when you create a portfolio on the website, that gives a great first impression. You just need to send your website link to the client. It's easy for the client also to look at your portfolio, and it gives such a professional look. So website is a good place to start your portfolio, and WordPress is the easiest way. It's very interactive, it's very easy to handle. That's why I suggest WordPress. Then social media. If you want to give that professional look to the clients, you need to post regularly on your social media pages, and consistently every day you need to do that, so that you will reach to potential audience or the client. So that is very important. You need to take a good approach there. You need to be professional there, not random posts. And then presentation skills. You need to have presentation skills to showcase your work to the client. If you don't know how to present your work, then there is no use. If you have lots of skills, if you have amazing portfolio, it doesn't work. You need to know how to present your own work. So you need to learn that. If you don't know how to do that, that will help you get further work. So these are the kind of skills you need to learn, and if you have these skills, refine them, because every day there are new changes for all these things. So keep on learning. Every day is a learning process for you. That's what you need to learn. And let me tell you about my freelancing story. In early years, when I started my career after my studies from NIFT Hyderabad, I went on to do traditional way of earning jobs. I got jobs, and I must say I liked them, because I don't have to think much. I used to work. I used to just do the work which are given to me, and I get paid at the end of the day. Because of my personal situations, I learned about freelancing, as I mentioned in the beginning, and freed myself from 9 to 5 jobs. Now I'm free to do my job anytime from anywhere. So that's the freedom I got in the beginning. That's my initial success, and I have been earning money in dollars. So that was like amazing initial success for me. I worked with many successful projects with hundreds of brands for their projects to build their collections. Let it be one design or 10 designs. I've worked with so many, so I know how it works as a fashion freelancer. Then there are situations where I had to take a step back because of my health issues. I don't have to stop my work, right? I hired other freelancers to do my task. That's so easy. I just need to find other freelancers who can work for me. The same way I gave my services, somebody else also gave me some services. So I didn't have to stop my work, but it went a little slow. Now I'm creating new and different paths to grow my career. When I realized about YouTube, I started learning every bit of YouTube: video creation, editing, back end work, post production, how to how to market my videos. All those things I've learned recently, newly, and I'm reinventing my growth. That's my story. You can watch all my YouTube videos to get deeper knowledge on freelancing or fashion in general. I'll share those links in the chat after I finish this session. You can connect to me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you are comfortable with. You just start following me there and just put a message. I'll be answering you. If you are interested to reach out to me, on the screen you can see my phone number and my email ID.